Yo, YouTube. Welcome back, man. Welcome back. I'm feeling good today. I just got off work about 2 hours ago. So we gonna do a little quick reaction. You feel me? I wanna at least post every day, if not every other day. You know, I really wanna start grinding. Cause I think before the 3 videos I posted yesterday, I ain't uploaded in like a week. So yeah, can't keep doing that. Can't do that no more for real. You know? Yeah. Y'all know. So you feel me? You gotta straighten the posture and everything, you know. Tight shit. You feel me? Tight shit. Anyway. Today we are watching 10 Star Wars changes George Lucas made that were completely justified. To be honest, I know like they remade the movies and I watched the movies like before they were made. Matter of fact, no, I did not. I did not watch the movies before they was made because they were made in 2004. I was born in 2004, so all of this, I never really seen the original. Even I never really seen the original movie, so all of this gonna be new to me. But I could tell when I was watching it that it seemed like they remade it because it didn't seem like a 1980 film. You feel me? You feel me? You feel me? If you watched it, and you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, let's get to the video, man.
Wars fans, are all of George Lucas's various controversial changes to the movies over the years on home and cinema re-release really that bad?
Hold on. So bad. I know I'd probably do that a lot, but I be trying to make sure my mic not muted, you know, my camera's straight and it's still recording. That's all.
Well, despite what most die-hard fans of the original trilogy will tell you, the answer is no. Some of these changes are downright ridiculous and random for sure, but there are a few that make total sense, enhancing the movies overall. I'm Scott from WhatCulture.com, and these are 10 Star Wars changes George Lucas made that were completely justified. Number 10. New Wampa design and added shots. Luke's encounter with the Wampa in Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, before we get into it, one thing I wish they added to the movies was the deleted scene, that 30-minute deleted scene on YouTube. I know y'all seen that. That shit was so good. They should have definitely added that. If you ask me, they should have definitely added that in a remake. For sure. Hell yeah.
Is a standout moment from the original trilogy. It's the first time we got to see Luke really use the Force to move something with his mind.
No, see, I do remember this. Did they take this out? Or do I just...
And it's the first time he got to use his lightsaber on another living thing. The scene itself is nothing short of harrowing. The dreaded Wampa lurking somewhere out of sight, ready to pounce at any given moment. Luke, strapped to the ceiling by his feet, is utterly helpless and at the mercy of this particular monster. With that said though, how about some added context? The idea of the stakes involved and maybe some extra shots of the Wampa itself. 1997 saw industrial light and magic artist Howie Weed redesign, reshoot and insert some now essential screen time for the Wampa. Showing it chowing down on some bones, blood dripping from its mouth.
I was saying, I do remember that first scene. I do remember how quick and to the point it was. Because that scene right there, that was in the Lego Star Wars game. They didn't have the remake scene in the Lego Star Wars game. They had that scene right there.
The scene was no longer just effective for kids whose imaginations could fill in more of the blanks, but a genuinely harrowing threat for our favorite hero to overcome. Number 9. Cloud City expanded. As far as film locations go, Cloud City is pretty impressive, at least conceptually. Essentially, it's a sprawling city in the skies of Bespin, tucked away in the clouds away from unwanted Imperial attention, overseen by the utterly charming and completely dashing Lando Calrissian. In the original version of Empire Strikes Back, Cloud City kinda just resembled a whole bunch of unending corridors with little sign of life. Honestly, the city might as well have been subterranean. There were no windows, few glimpses of the city outside, and even fewer things going on beyond the winding bland corridors that were the subject of every shot and the backdrop of every scene.
This
to some, it was
does make a
downright
huge
claustrophobic.
difference.
That all changed when George Lucas expanded
What the
Cloud
fuck?
City, knocking down a few walls and installing some windows to really accentuate the scale and magnificence
this
of
does
the overall
look
backdrop,
way
granting all those tight
like-
corridors some breathing room and showing
it's like
various
way
different
more
ships passing by in the
magnificent,
background
you know?
in the process. Number 8, adding a scene to Jabba's
George
palace.
Lucas
There
be
have
cooking,
been
bro.
some
George
horrendous
Lucas be
changes
cooking.
to the opening of Return of the Jedi. Changes that even the most ardent of Lucas's fans would struggle to defend without at least cracking a smile. To some, the entirety of Jabba's palace, something
I'm still thinking about that because, like, Cloud City is such a beautiful place. I never seen that scene of Cloud City where it's just empty. Dang, that definitely changes the scenery, like just the aspect of it, cause like it makes you like wow, because nigga, seeing that scene the first time, I would have thought Lando was setting us up from the get go, cause where everybody at? The fact that there's more people just sitting, having conversations, you know, walking around minding their business, it makes you more comfortable. Like, oh yeah, this nigga Lando, he ain't finna slime me up. Yes, he is.
that used to represent this seedy underbelly of Star Wars ephemera, a melting pot of bounty hunters and alien gambling dens, was completely tossed aside for a musical number sung by Cy Snoodles. However, there was one addition that seemed quite fitting, an additional scene featuring Ula, the slave dancer who's dropped into the Rancor pit after failing to please Jabba himself. The additional scene depicts Ula's tumble in more detail, showing her reaction as the Rancor cage is slowly lifted and her fate sealed. It's a small addition, but it serves an important function. Registering her reaction in more detail, we're able to sympathize with the character. Thus, Jabba is made to seem all the more villainous and depraved as a result, further
it really
earning his
made you
iconic
not like
status
Jabba.
as one of film's most known antagonists.
Yeah.
Number
it
7,
really made
the
you not
removal
like
of
Jabba for
cardboard
more than
cutouts.
it. Yeah.
Once
yeah.
you see them, you could never unsee them. The cardboard cutouts at the end of A New Hope were always
Yeah, you
obvious
can-
to some.
My nigga, you can tell those are cardboard cutouts. Like, those don't even look like real people. You can quite literally tell those are cardboard cutouts.
People and not moving whatsoever in what is otherwise one of the most memorable shots of the entire franchise. It was like a tiny stain on an otherwise perfect canvas. As you can see though, even the smallest alteration can make all the difference. The change is unobtrusive, but it drastically improves the
You see, when they actually put effort and work and stop trying to cut corners to make movies, it's beautiful. It adds more to the scene, adds more lore. It just, oh my god, it makes you more connected to the actual series of whatever you're watching. More people have to realize that you just can't make some bullshit, throw some cool shit in and just call it a day. It has to be story. It has to be a lot of little niche moments where the characters are bonding, so you feel me, you can understand the character on a personal level, really care for the characters. So like, if a death happens, you're not just like, well, I guess they dead now. Keep moving. You feel me? If you don't care about a character, that's what's gonna happen. It doesn't matter if it's an important death to the story or not. If you don't build the character and have the character or have the audience emotionally attached to the character, no matter how you kill them, what you make them go through, blah blah blah, this and the third. We don't care about the characters, so we don't care what they're going through. We don't care that they
presentation
die.
of the entire moment. No longer can anybody be distracted by irritating, poorly detailed cutouts, and we can celebrate the triumphant conclusion of this extraordinary film as much as possible. Number 6, replacing of the Emperor. Ian McDiarmid is a fantastic actor who most younger Star Wars fans will associate with the prequel trilogy. Though he's more heavily featured throughout Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith, McDiarmid did make his debut in 1983, playing the Emperor in Return of the Jedi. Seeing as how McDiarmid had played the character in 4 of the 5 films that had featured him at the time, it only made sense that he be added to Empire Strikes Back. After all, he's played the character in both the original and prequel trilogies. It just made sense to complete the set, bring everything full circle, and insert some much needed continuity to the casting. Plus, that original Emperor, yeesh. Number 5, better lightsaber effect.
What the fuck was that effect? Like, nigga, that nigga looked like I know he looked bad already, but that nigga looked like he was decaying. Like, nigga, he had maggots crawling in his skin and all. Hey, hell nah. Hell nah. I don't know. Would it have been better if they did it right? If they did it right, that design could have been better. But I do love the Emperor design. How his face is just wrinkled. It looked wrinkled, but if you really know, nigga, his face is melted. That's why. Oh my god, that shit is amazing.
This improvement mainly applies
amazing,
to the first film, but the lightsabers have been drastically enriched throughout Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi as well. They just look
Amazing
so
scene,
washed
by
out
the way.
before, especially during the initial confrontation between Ben Kenobi and Darth Vader. In fact, at one point during the fight, Vader's lightsaber doesn't even look red. It looks like it has the color sucked out of it, drained of all personality.
It looked like one of
ability.
them little toy
In comparison
lightsabers
to the
that got
2011
little
Blu-ray
plastic that just
versions
light
of the
up.
films, the originals just can't hold a candle. Lightsabers appear revitalized and powerful. The colors look more prominent, and even the shape of the beam looks straighter and more elegant. Number 4, close the blast doors, open the blast doors. There's a fair amount of humor dispersed throughout A New Hope. Even during some of the more intense moments of nail-biting action, the film never quite abandons the whimsical, fun tone of the classic space adventure genre that it was aiming for in the first place. No, it wasn't until Empire Strikes Back that the series took a slightly darker turn, emphasizing themes of betrayal and hopelessness in the face of insurmountable odds. By comparison, A New Hope isn't anywhere near as brooding or dreary, and it's why it's so rewatchable. With that in mind, it's surprising just how many opportunities for additional humor were passed up in the original version of the film. Thankfully, these opportunities were later capitalized on in the special editions, giving a few select scenes that comical edge that they always deserved. In the original version of Star Wars, Han Solo and Chewbacca narrowly escape a group of stormtroopers through a closing blast door. Trapped on the wrong side of the doors, the stormtroopers radio in a command to open the blast doors. In later editions, an extra line was added to make this encounter slightly funnier. Just before Han and Chewie make their escape, one of the stormtroopers can be heard requesting to close the blast doors, only to have the decision immediately backfire as the two heroes vanish through the closing doors. Call it the most minuscule thing ever, but the whole tone of A New Hope is so...
See, that's what I was just talking about, though. Little niche moments like that, it makes you like care for the fucking stormtroopers. The stormtroopers make you care for the stormtroopers. Like, nigga, the stormtroopers. Like, the stormtroopers are so cunning, even though they're ass and they're literally the enemy of the story. The stormtroopers are so cunning, and you grow to even love the stormtroopers just because the jokes they get off. How, nigga, literally every stormtrooper when they're on screen, they have some funny shit. They having a little dumbass conversation. Little niche moments like that, it just makes you love the story of Star Wars, the series of Star Wars, even more as a whole.
So enjoyable and so much of a fun ride Disney that this stuff only goes alongside everything else. Number 3, Biggs Darklighter. In the 1977 original version of Star Wars, Biggs Darklighter was something of a mystery, an enigmatic figure who was mentioned casually in conversation but rarely seen. Early on in the film, we learn that Biggs and Luke are close friends who grew up on Tatooine together. We also learn that Biggs had left his home to join the rebellion against the Empire. During the final battle of Yavin, we even hear Luke request Biggs' assistance before Biggs' X-Wing is blasted into pieces. As if to make matters worse, despite the two characters apparently being childhood friends, Luke barely even registers Biggs' untimely death. In the 1997 version of the film, though, all that changed. An extra scene was added that depicts Luke and Biggs reuniting in the hangar bay, finally embracing one another after being separated for so long. After Biggs' death, more emphasis is also placed on Luke's response, depicting him as mournful and empathetic, rather than just indifferent. Number 2, the Stormtrooper Corridor Chase. One of many people's favorite moments from the original Star Wars, a scene that's been parodied and replicated to death, was made even better. To be totally honest, the original version of this doesn't really make that much sense. The Stormtroopers just turn around and realize that they do outnumber their attackers. In the version from 1997 though, Han chases the Stormtroopers down the corridor only to emerge in a very crowded hangar bay, complete with a stationary TIE fighter sitting in the background. It may not make as much sense considering the fact that the Stormtroopers don't appear to be aware of Solo's presence despite the base being on alert, but it's way more entertaining. It takes a clever idea and makes the execution even better. The epitome of what tweaks like these should do. And number 1, Return of the Jedi's extended ending. The rebellion against the Empire clearly affected the entire galaxy. It wasn't just about a bunch of rebels raging against the machine, it was a far-reaching attempt to shift the balance of power. Yet at the very end of Return of the Jedi, at the very end of the original trilogy, all we got were some fireworks in the skies of Endor and a fairly tame but enjoyable party with the Ewoks. To some, i.e. George Lucas, this was fine, but he wanted more. In later editions, the ending to Return of the Jedi was extended to include even more scenes of festivities taking place across the galaxy. Thanks to the change, we get to see
George
Tatooine,
Lucas
Naboo,
be
Bespin,
cooking,
and
bro.
Coruscant united in celebration at the downfall
wish
of the
he didn't
Galactic
sell it,
Empire.
bro.
With everybody unified and optimistic
did
about
not
what the
sell
future may
Star
bring,
Wars, man.
that final note of the whole original trilogy just sings even sweeter.
Yeah.
And those were various changes George Lucas made to Star Wars that, at least to us, sit pretty damn well. Let us know your favorites down in
Whew. Man. Oh yeah, we definitely, hold on. First of all, subscribe, like. Amazing video, my nigga. Amazing video. But we definitely gonna react to more videos about him. And what I was saying, I wish George Lucas did not sell Star Wars, but also I heard that he didn't have anything else planned. So you feel me? It was just gonna be sitting there anyway. So I guess you might as well let Disney try to cook, because hey, I'm watching Mandalorian. I just finished season 1. Amazing. Mandalorian season 1 is amazing. Amazing. I mean, shit, that was the first. Amazing. Because I tried watching the Obi-Wan show. The Obi-Wan show was cool. It wasn't nothing too, you know what I mean? It was cool. It was cool. That Mandalorian show, boy, if you have not watched Mandalorian, go watch Mandalorian, man. But yeah, other than that, I'm gonna do another reaction today. I'm finna start editing this right now, the moment this video ends. And yeah, y'all have a good day.